Slade Wilson now has control over a portion of the Speed Force energy. He sprints through the city street with the older of the two Wally Wests not too far behind. Wally, the Flash, even gets so close as to grab Deathstroke's shoulder. "Let me go," orders the assassin. "I mean you no harm. This deal is still in place." But Wally has no idea what Deathstroke is talking about. He would never make deals with a killer. Deathstroke, however, doubts that very much. As the Flash grabs onto Deathstroke, the hero's speed begins to be siphoned away. "That's some trick," the Flash scoffs. "Synthesizing my speed somehow?" "It's not your speed, West. It's simply a matter of knowing which technology to steal. Dr. Darwin Elias once created a siphoning device designed to help the real Flash control his powers. This extractor stored that energy in battery cells. Some of the greatest minds on the planet are on my payroll, most unwittingly. Collating the scans I took from you and the boy made modifying the extractor simple. And as far as my deal, I made that with someone else." In the past, about a year after Grant's death, Dick Grayson, Robin, returned to Hatton Corners, the Teen Titans headquarters on Goat Island. When he arrived, no one was there, except Slade. The assassin ambushed the boy with a bombardment of rubber bullets before holding him at knife point. "Children," he hissed. "These idiot heroes dress up their orphans and loose them on society. By the way, you're getting a bit old for that look. If you're old enough to shave, you might want to stop modeling yourself after a yard bird." Robin pushed the blade aside, saying, "A wise man once told me criminals were superstitious cowards." Deathstroke then lowered his weapon. "I assure you, I am neither." "What do you want, Deathstroke?" "To kill you, of course. After all, I assumed my son's contract from Hive after your team killed him." "Nobody killed Grant, Deathstroke. That serum Hive gave him was toxic. You know that. Sell crazy somewhere else. Why are you really here?" "To make you an offer. Accept it, or you will not leave this place alive. And let's just keep this between us. No need for any other casualties." Deathstroke then showed Robin a picture of his daughter, Rose, before explaining he only learned of her existence recently. At the time, she lived in New York. Her mother was killed in an accident, and Rose was looking forward to moving in with her father. "And of course, that can't happen. I've arranged for her care, but she will need more." "Combat training?" Robin asks. "Oh, please. I just killed you, you punk." albeit with rubber bullets. No, she needs your values. I don't want her following my path. Robin squints his eyes and examines the assassin. And in exchange, you'll stop trying to kill us. For now, I will convert my agreement with Hive into a Lazarus contract, which can be brought back to life if either of us fails to keep our word. I assure you, Robin, I'm a man who keeps mine. In the present, the Flash has chased Deathstroke as far north as the snowy tundra. Deathstroke tells the Flash he's honestly surprised Robin, or rather, Nightwing, kept his word and didn't tell the Titans about their little agreement. The Flash casts aside the assassin's words. Well, a lot has happened since then. Both speedsters come to a sliding halt. Their sudden stop causes a wave of snow to form in front of them. Deathstroke asks the Flash, "Ever hear that adage about the dog chasing the taxi? What would he actually do with it if he caught it? Your speed is your singular advantage. But when facing someone as fast as you are, the playing field is leveled." Deathstroke unsheathed his sword. The blade sparks and cracks with an overflow of Speed Force energy. Here, in bullet time, we're just two guys jawing. Only, I'm a trained killer, and you, well, what are you without your powers, if you're not the fastest man alive? Then, the Flash leaves. He just runs away, kicking up snow in his wake. Yes, Deathstroke chides. I thought so. Elsewhere, under the Garden State Medical Center, the Titans and the Teen Titans take stock of the current situation. The most pressing matter is the fact that there are indeed two speedster Wally Wests. Beast Boy is finding it difficult to wrap his mind around how casually the rest of the heroes are taking this new information. Damian Wayne, Robin, stands by his teammate. He places a hand on Kid Flash's shoulder and asks, "Kid Flash, what went on here? Did Deathstroke torture you?" Kid Flash looks the other way, avoiding any eye contact with the other heroes. "No," he responds. "Well, how did he manage to gain super speed?" "I didn't realize he was doing that. He only said that he needed my help." "Wait." Robin hunches over to look Kid Flash in the eyes. "Are you saying you trusted him? Trusted Deathstroke? He's desperate to save his son. He kidnapped the Flash. You overheard Deathstroke interrogating him. It was wrong. He said so." "You idiot!" Robin snaps. "You have any idea what you've done?" Nightwing steps forward and attempts to calm things down between the two young heroes. Time to argue later. We need to know what's happening to the Flash. He turns to Kid Flash. Better get going. "Yes, By all means, Damien snaps. Try not to give any more supervillains a hand while you're at it. Wally attempts to sprint off, but is unable to gather enough speed and fizzles out. He trips, falls into the water, and needs the assistance of others to get out. Damien sees this and sighs. It is logical to assume the source of Deathstroke's new power is Mother Teresa here. Kid Flash demonstrated his own hidden superpower, gullibility. Elsewhere, in Los Angeles, a man stands on the ledge of a skyscraper. He stands there a lot. It's peaceful. Suddenly, the Flash arrives. Jericho, he tells the man. You don't know me, but I need your help. I ran. My God, I turned and ran from him. I told myself, dying out in the middle of nowhere could mean the end of everything. That, for the greater good, I had to. Tears begin to build in the Flash's eyes. The truth is, I was scared. Deathstroke tortured me. Damn, hands shaking. As long as I can remember, my powers had made me seem fearless. He humiliated me. Jericho silently holds up his phone to the Flash. It reads, "No one is fearless. Dying to prove you're not equals dumb. How can I help you?" In the past, almost a lifetime ago, a young boy was sleeping in the back seat of a truck until a man with snow-white hair, holding a rifle, opens the door to the vehicle, grabs the boy, pulls him out, and tosses him into the snow. Slade? What the? The boy cries out. Jesus, scoffs Slade. What an effin' Nancy. Gear up. Moving out. With Slade is the boy's brother, Joseph. The first boy picks himself off the ground and tells Slade that he can go screw himself, and he can go the hell back to wherever it is he goes. The boy hopes to God that Slade gets his head blown off next time. Jericho, or Joseph, calls out to his brother, but the boy is already stomping away. Let's go, Joseph, Slade says sternly, as he turns in the opposite direction. Go? Joseph gasps. You mean we're gonna leave Grant out here? Dad? Years later, Wintergreen arrives at the Wilson residence to find Joseph and Grant playing video games. He asks where he can find their mother and father. The usual, Grant grunts. They're at it again. So sick of both of them. Wintergreen looks up the staircase to the second floor and responds, Gone quiet up there. Is that good or bad? Grant gets frustrated and slams his controller down. I'm out. Had enough of their crap. Wintergreen and Joseph share a silent moment before Wintergreen makes his way up to the second floor. When he opens Slade's bedroom door, he finds the assassin and his wife lying naked on the floor. Wintergreen advises the two, "Far be it for me to disturb true love. But we've a plan. Adeline, love, I believe young Grant may have run away." Adeline brushes the notion aside. "He runs away every other week. What's the gig?" Wintergreen debriefs Adeline, while Slade puts on some clothes in order to go find Grant. He then sprints through the forest and cuts the boy off. "Going somewhere?" he asks as he pulls out a cigarette and lights it. Grant is shocked to see his father. He can't help but stutter. "Ready to go your own way, right? Pay your own rent?" Slade blows a cloud of smoke in his son's face. "So, you're a man now?" Yes." The boy winces. "Then hit me. You're so grown now. Be a man. Hit me. This is what's out there for you, boy. It's what I've been trying to teach you. This is what the world is. Wolves and sheep. Which will you be? Hit me. One punch, and I'll never bother you again. Just show me something. Anything. Prove to me I didn't raise some gutless freak." Grant yells out for Slade to shut up, reels back his fist, and aims a haymaker directly at his father. Obviously, the hit misses. "Seriously?" Slade asks him. He takes one last puff before throwing down his cigarette. "That's the best you got. All right, Grant. All right. You want to go? I won't stop you. But let me give you something to remember me by." Grant begins to backpedal, and then breaks into a full-on sprint into oncoming traffic. He is hit by a car full of women his age. Lucky for him, they're going to a party. And now they owe him. It takes 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, Slade Wilson is able to sprint through Chicago to shoot one of the more affluent in the back of the skull, to El Domingo to stab a dictator in the eye, to London to eradicate a member of Parliament, and finally to Madrid. In Madrid, he speeds alongside a Formula One race car, stares the driver in the eye, and slices down with his sword. He destroys the vehicle in an instant. Afterwards, Slade heads to the hospital to sit by his daughter's side. Wintergreen arrives shortly after with a handful of flowers. "Well, it's about bloody time," he remarks. "And where have you been?" "Clearing my calendar. Doc says Rose is going to make it," Slade tells him, changing the subject. "And what about you? What positive and uplifting tasks were you performing in the catacombs beneath Jersey City?" "It's nothing. Trust me." Famous last words. Perhaps I'll have a look. "Joseph, your son was released from rehab this morning. You should see him while you're out visiting and all." "I'm leaving for a mission." Of course. How long? 2 minutes? Half an hour? Forever? I'm going to fix the mistakes I've made, Billy. Or die trying. Within Deathstroke's hideout, Nightwing and Robin have successfully uploaded Deathstroke's data files to their cloud server. They predominantly feature coordinates somewhere in New England. Nightwing reasons that it's Hatton Corners, the location of their old base. They then receive a call from the Flash, who, still with Jericho, tells Nightwing and Robin that they will meet him in New England. Jericho, the hero with the ability to separate his spirit from his body, speaks through the speaker on his cell phone. He is well aware that Hatton Corners is the site where his brother Grant, the assassin known as Ravager, was killed. He can accept that. But his father, Deathstroke, never will. Jericho explains that his father doesn't process his emotions well. Deathstroke would rather find someone else to blame. The Flash spoke about being terrified of him, humiliated by him. That was Jericho's entire childhood. Jericho has spent a long time trying to accept his father for who he really is. Even longer, trying to accept himself for being exactly like him. Elsewhere, outside Windsor, Ontario, Deathstroke is preparing to sprint. His new armor, the Icon suit, is a gravity sheath. Einstein's theory says gravity can bend time. So, ramping up his Icon suit point defense system while moving at near light speeds ought to do the trick. Using the speed calibrations from the two Flashes fed into Deathstroke's uniform's artificial intelligence, Deathstroke aims himself in the direction of Hatton Corners and starts to run. His name is Slade Wilson. He's the fastest killer alive, and he's about to change his own destiny. Massive amounts of Speed Force energy cracks all around him. Within an instant, he breaks the sound barrier. After that, he rips open a hole in the Speed Force and uses it to travel back in time. And then, he sees him. He sees his son, Grant. Deathstroke's son stands there in mid-stride, seemingly frozen in time compared to the speedster. With a thunderclap, the assassin screeches to a halt. Ravager, in reaction to seeing Deathstroke appear out of nowhere, raises his sword. Ravager is then caught off guard once again when he sees Deathstroke not only remove his helmet, but reveal himself to be none other than his father. "Son," Slade says softly as he approaches Ravager with open arms. "I found you."